Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Remember 2012, the year the world was supposed to end, according to some interpretations of the Mayan calendar. We saw blockbuster movies, countless documentaries, and maybe even a few of your friends built a bunker. But here we are, over a decade later. So what really happened? Did the Mayans get it wrong, or did we misunderstand them completely? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the ancient Maya to uncover the truth behind the 2012 phenomenon. Let's separate fact from fiction. First, let's get one thing straight. The Maya were absolute masters of time. Forget your smartwatch. These ancient Mesoamericans developed one of the most complex and accurate calendar systems in human history. They weren't just tracking days. They were mapping vast cosmic cycles. Their system was a beautiful interplay of several different calendars, each with its own purpose. You had the Hab, a 365-day solar calendar, much like our own, used for agriculture and seasonal events. Then there was the Tzolk'in, a 260-day sacred calendar, which acted like a spiritual guide, determining everything from religious ceremonies to personal destiny. It was like a daily horoscope, but deeply woven into the fabric of their society. These two calendars worked together like interlocking gears, creating a larger cycle of 52 years, known as the calendar round. For the Maya, a 52-year anniversary was a major event, a time of great renewal and celebration. Much like how we celebrate a new century, it marked the completion of a full cycle and the beginning of another. But the Maya thought even bigger than that. Their grandest and most famous calendar is the one at the heart of our story, the long count. Unlike the other cyclical calendars, the long count was linear, at least for a very, very long time. It was designed to record history on a massive scale, stretching thousands of years into both the past and the future. Think of it as a cosmic odometer, tracking the total number of days that had passed since a mythical creation date, which modern scholars have calculated as August 11th, 3114 BCE. The calendar was structured in units of time. A kin was 1 day, 20 kins made a wenal, 18 wenals made a tun, 360 days, 20 tuns made a katun, about 20 years, and 20 cartoons made a baktun, which is a massive cycle of roughly 394 years. The calendar was a masterpiece of mathematics and cosmology, allowing them to pinpoint historical events with incredible precision and look forward to future cycles. So, where did the end of the world idea come from? It all comes down to the number 13. For the Maya, the number 13 was incredibly significant and sacred. They believed that the world was created in a cycle of 13 baktuns. The long count calendar begins at day 0, and it was set to complete its 13th baktun on a date that correlated to our calendar as December 21st, 2012. So, when people saw that the 13th baktun was ending, they jumped to a conclusion. The end of the calendar must mean the end of time itself. This is where the misunderstanding spiraled into a global panic. Popular culture grabbed this idea and ran with it. Suddenly, we were bombarded with theories about catastrophic solar flares, planetary alignments, and even alien interventions, all supposedly predicted by the ancient Maya. News reports hyped up the doomsday narrative, and Hollywood produced epic disaster films that visualized our planet's destruction. The idea was exciting, terrifying, and it sold a lot of movie tickets and books. But here's the crucial part we missed. For the Maya, the end of a cycle was never about destruction. It was about transformation and renewal. Just like our odometer clicks over from 99,999 to 100,000, the Mayan long count was simply set to roll over. The end of the 13th baktun didn't signify the end of the world. It signified the beginning of the 14th Baktun. It was a milestone, a cause for monumental celebration, not for fear. It was the universe hitting a reset button and starting a fresh new era. Archaeologists and scholars of Mayan culture tried to set the record straight for years. They pointed out that there are no Mayan inscriptions or texts that predict an apocalypse in 2012. In fact, they found the opposite. At sites like Palenque in Mexico, inscriptions were discovered that made references to dates far, far beyond 2012. King Tikal, one of the most famous Mayan rulers, had his accession to the throne linked to an anniversary that would occur in the year 47 ASB2. Why would they calculate dates thousands of years into the future if they believed the world was going to end in 2012? It just doesn't add up. The evidence is clear. The Maya saw time as an endless, repeating cycle of creation, not a linear path towards a single, fiery end. The 2012 prophecy was a modern invention, a myth projected onto an ancient culture that was far more optimistic and sophisticated than we gave them credit for. We took their brilliant cosmic clock and turned it into a doomsday timer. So what lessons can we learn from all this? Firstly, it highlights our own modern anxieties. The fascination with doomsday scenarios often reflects our fears about the state of our own world, climate change, political instability, and technological threats. It's sometimes easier to imagine a sudden, dramatic end than to confront the complex, slow-moving challenges we face every day. Secondly, it's a powerful reminder to approach other cultures with respect and a genuine desire to understand, rather than imposing our own narratives onto them. The Maya were not some mystical, doom-predicting civilization. They were brilliant astronomers, mathematicians, architects, and artists. Their legacy is one of incredible intellectual achievement, not a failed prophecy. They built cities that rivaled those in ancient Europe, developed a complex writing system, and created art that still captivates us today. Their real legacy lies in their deep understanding of cosmic harmony and the cyclical nature of existence. They saw the universe not as a chaotic place, hurtling towards destruction, but as an orderly, predictable, and endlessly regenerating system. The end of one cycle was always the birth of a new one, a chance for renewal and celebration. Perhaps that's the real message the Maya left for us. Not to fear the future, but to embrace the turning of each new page, each new cycle, with hope and a sense of wonder. So, the next time you hear about an ancient prophecy foretelling the end of the world, take a moment to dig a little deeper. The truth is often far more fascinating and far less terrifying than the myth. The world didn't end in 2012, but our misunderstanding of a brilliant ancient culture created a global phenomenon. What do you think? Did you believe the hype back in 2012? Let me know your stories in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more historical mysteries, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.